How's it going, folks? Jordan64 here. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to the Kart versus Bike versus ATV challenge here in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Today, the challenge continues on Choco Mountain. So for those of you guys that are unaware of the challenge here, we are taking the standard Kart and the standard Bike and the standard ATV. We're racing them on every single track here in the series. And yes, I mean every single track. All 96. And we're going to be determining which vehicle reigns supreme. So, right here, we're on Choco Mountain. If you guys have not been catching up with the series whatsoever, you guys can go ahead and click the icon right above, right at the top of the video. That'll take you to the playlist right at the beginning. Yes, it started from the very beginning with Mario Kart Stadium, and pretty much now all through the current entries. So obviously now we are just now getting started here in the Booster Course Pass. We already did Paris Promenade, and we also did Toad Circuit from Mario Kart 7. So now we're here in Choco Mountain. This classic N64 track definitely has been revamped, and I mean revamped like crazy. Obviously, most of the aesthetic of this track is quite the same, including these jumps here, but like right here, those of you guys that have played Mario Kart 64, there was never really an opening like view from the mountain at all in the original track. You were basically just driving through an enclosed mountain area, and all in, you know, just a kind of chocolate colored mountain, hence the name Choco Mountain. Now, of course, you could say this is the sister location to Choco Island from Super Mario World, so to speak, but, you know, Nintendo and their chocolate, I swear. They had a fetish for it. I feel like they did. Alright, anyway, as you can see, we have raced 3 laps here on this track. Decided not to do any mushrooms. Sometimes I do mushrooms on some tracks, sometimes I don't. So as you can see, the Kart finishes at 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Next, we're going to use the Bike. We're going to be racing against the Ghost Data, obviously the Kart that we had just raced with, and see if the Bike can be any faster than the Kart. Let's find out right now. Alright, so as you can see, we have now switched over to the Bike. I'm basically going to be doing the same thing, or at least try to kind of mimic the same kind of movements that I did with the Kart. As you can kind of tell if you were paying attention a little bit, I try to go for 10 coins as early as possible. Because if you guys know, 10 coins, once you reach 10 coins, you have then hit your maximum top speed. Okay, so we're already at 10 coins now. And right now the Kart is actually winning. Just barely. And like I said, we're just kind of racing as normal, not really going to do anything too crazy. You know, like I say, I try to mimic my movements here. If I'm able to get off super turbos, I can. If not, you know, it is what it is. Almost kind of racing like almost how I normally do when it comes to like regular Mario Kart races. And then, like I said, just barely. Like I said before, we're not using any mushrooms here. We're going to keep it that way through all 3 phases here. Forgot I did an ultra turbo there, but that's okay. But it looks like the Kart so far is doing very well on this track. It beat me, but by very little amount of time, like barely, not even 0.2 of a second. Alright, so there you see the times there. The Kart still with the fastest time, just barely beating out the bike by almost 2 full tenths of a second there. But how will the Kart fare against the ATV? Only one way to find out. Let's use the ATV now. Alright, now we're on to phase 3, the ATV. And once again, we're going to be racing against the Kart because the Kart has the faster time. And then once again, trying to get 10 coins as fast as possible. So all this challenge really does is just factor in the Kart's speed, acceleration, weight, all that fun stuff if you want to pay attention to any of those stats. Alright, as of right now, we're just barely beating out the Kart. Barely. 0.08 of a second. A little bit of history on this track. Let's go ahead and talk about that. So obviously this track first appeared in Mario Kart 64. Very, very great game, by the way. My very first Mario Kart game, in case some of you guys did not know. This track did come back in Mario Kart DS, when Mario Kart DS first introduced retro tracks. This was one of the first ones. Also, this track did come back in Mario Kart Tour. As you can tell, this version in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe pretty much mimics the version seen in Mario Kart Tour. This added glider ramp, definitely a factor there. Definitely was not present in the previous 2 versions. Talking about the Tour track. And overall, the kind of visuals here in this track is just very outstanding. I absolutely love it. I think this really kind of represents, looking at this track, it kind of represents like the number of years it's been since this, since anyone's really kind of driven on this track, so to speak. Like the cave, for example, it was never a cave at that part. You were just going through the mountain, and that's pretty much it. The falling rocks are still there. But there was never a cave, so something must have happened for a cave to be kind of created. Maybe some rocks just started falling, and maybe some of the, I don't know, maybe someone discovered Choco Mountain, was like, hey, we need to open this up. We want to race on this again, and rocks fell on that part. I don't know. Who knows what Nintendo was thinking when it comes to when it came time to redesign this track. But it's a good track. But that's it for Choco Mountain. As you can see, the ATV by 0.02 of a second just narrows out the Kart. But comparing the times between the ATV, the Kart, and even the bike, very, very narrow margin. So again, this is a basic track, so there's nothing too crazy to kind of stand out as far as determining what vehicle you should probably use for this track. Obviously, the ATV with the higher speed stat than the Kart and the bike combined, as long as you're able to handle it pretty well, you should be fine using any type of ATVs available in this game to help you win the race. So that's all I really have to say on that. Stay tuned. More videos in this series to come. 'Tis the season, right? As at the time of recording this, it is the holiday season. So what better way to get your Christmas shopping out of the way than to head to Nintendo's world famous Coconut Mall. That's where we're gonna be jumping into next time. But until then, once again, if you want the access to the full playlist, the link is in the description below. You can also find it on the end card as well. But until next time, folks, have a great night, or have a great day, wherever you may be, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace and love. Take care.